Rolling. Okay, Team Talk podcast episode. What are we now? 5. Welcome, guys. I have Big Lee with me. I have Coach with me. I'm, of course, Samuel Law, and we're gonna go through this podcast. Get through it. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously there was no Premiership or club fixtures this weekend or the past weekend, so there was international break. So we're gonna obviously cover England's game, but we'll also talk about just football topics. Then we had a big boxing night. Quite a few fighters fought, so we'll talk about that. And then if we can try to squeeze in some UFC, then we can do that. So yeah, guys, what are we saying? How's your day been? What's going on?
Hectic, man.
Hectic. I'm tired, bro.
First and foremost, I'd like to apologise to all our listeners last week for having to listen to Kev. Yeah. Nonsense Kev was talking about last week. I wish I was here, but I wasn't.
Down the Marco.
So, shout out to Kev anyway, but...
Shout out to Kev. I'll have you both on again at the same time.
Yeah. That's just nonsense he was talking about. But we'll get into that.
We'll get into that. Yeah. I'm tired, man. Obviously, I stayed up like late night for the boxing. Woke up I went to bed at 6, woke up at 8, so I'm lagging right now. But we're here with you guys to deliver this content. What are you saying, Big Lou?
Yeah, same. Got watch boxing, UFC. Yeah, football.
Let's get into the football, man. So, do you want to start with the UEFA Nations Cup idea, the whole theme, or do you want to talk about the England game first? England-Spain. What's up to you lot? What do you want to do?
We can get into the concept of the tournament.
All right. So, UEFA Nations Cup, yeah, is the new initiative to like kind of replace international friendlies and put like a competitive tournament format. I don't know, maybe to spice up the international break. Because me personally, when is the international break, and like whether we've won or lost, like how Man United won in the weekend, I wanted another game straight away. Like, do you get me? I didn't want to wait. So international breaks is always like whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. So personally, I think right now it's too new of a concept for me to think it's something that's decent. I get why UEFA have done it. They need to make their brand seem more stronger and make it more valuable, and want us to do exactly as you said, show more focus on it. But the fact is, it's not valuable. Like, we know it's not a main tournament. We don't care about pre-season friendlies, regardless of whether it comes in the form of this cup, that cup. We know it's a pre-season friendly. We really care about the real season. So I think right now, for me, I personally wouldn't really...
You don't pay attention to it? I mean, I don't know, like, football's football to me, innit? So anytime football's on, I watch it. So I think, like, internationals, I watched it as well, the friendlies. I used to watch that anyway. I used to be bored with it, like, it don't mean nothing. But now it's just, like, replaced kind of friendlies. So you got, like, a tournament format. So from what I believe, two or the bottom team in the group will get relegated. And then the top teams of the groups will all meet each other to play like a tournament in 2019, just before the Euros. So, Coach, what you're laughing there? What's going on?
It's just pointless whatever they're doing. It's just confusing everything. We got to now think about this extra competition. Just have the friendlies. The friendlies are there to be used for the international managers to get their ideas across without having too much pressure on what's their international record, this, that, and the other. Now you're going to have the qualifiers where you're going to have pressure, and people are now putting added pressure to you on the Nations Cup or whatever it's called.
But wouldn't you put the pressure on the friendlies as well then? It still goes against your record.
No, because the friendlies, nobody remembers friendlies. Do you remember England's friendlies before the World Cup?
No way.
You don't remember anything, but you remember the World Cup.
Yeah.
And you're always gonna remember those competitive competitions. So the friendlies were used to build up your different ideas, your different formations, but without any pressure.
So let me ask you, yeah. So like I said, you've got that tournament, then you've got the European qualifiers, yeah. Don't you think the manager, like let's just say Southgate, he can use the UEFA Nations Cup to just experiment and say, okay, cool. Like the game against Spain, like I said, Callum Wilson played. Some other like players that are fringe players, if you like, they played, yeah. Don't you think Southgate can use that as the tournament to, experiment and bring those players through, and then use the European qualifiers for the main players, the main team. Okay, we're trying to go to the tournament.
Not really, because he's not doing it out of choice. Because players don't put value on that level international, so they pull out.
What?
So he just has to come up with players now.
No, but when you're called upon, you're gonna play, innit? If they say, I know Sterling dropped out.
But we all know in all competition football, like was it Sanchez that's not gone to the latest one because he wanted to work on
Alexis Sanchez.
Yeah, but I can't remember, it might not.
Yeah, but that's a friendly though, isn't it?
This is my exact point. So players don't place value on this level international football. So because of that, they can't pull out of squads with various injuries or various issues that aren't as valuable an issue when it comes to tournament time, because they're in the squad, if that makes sense.
You know what? Don't worry, man.
I think
when we have our final, yeah, and everyone tunes in for the final, because it's gonna be a final of this whole thing, and everyone sees that, right, they've lifted the trophy. You'll see other teams put importance on it. Trust me, they'll be like, this is another trophy we can win, regardless.
That's why I said not now.
Yeah, not now, but I'm saying, yeah, right now, no, people don't know what it is. It's like VAR, it's like everything. But once people see that, okay, there's something you can get from this, get me. But yeah, let's talk about Spain, England. We all watched that here. 2-1 was the final score, was it? Yeah.
Should have been 2-2.
Why? What, the Welbeck one?
Yeah, that was ridiculous. But I'm in Man United sport, and I've always told people about David De Gea.
Don't say nothing silly to me.
No,
now.
it's not nothing silly. It's my opinion. Just like
wait. It's not something silly, but it's my opinion.
It's just my opinion. I don't think he's the best keeper in the world. I've said that for a long time. Because when the modern day keeper, you need to have everything. You need to be able to be good with your feet, shot stopper, command your area, be that sweeper keeper as well. And he's not all of those things.
Kev, Big Lee, who's the best keeper in the world? Side note quickly. You're an Arsenal fan, yeah?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Oh wait, you don't think it's De Gea?
I don't think it's even a debate.
Wow.
I don't even think it's a debate.
I think the reason why I genuinely, straight off the top of my head, even though I've not really thought about it, De Gea's mistake ratio in comparison to other keepers. When I say mistake ratio, you know, like just the bait that he looks amazing when he does well.
He is amazing, bruv.
I didn't say he's not.
No, you said he looks
well. He looks amazing.
Yeah.
But there were times when he makes these like things.
Every keeper's got that in them, bro.
If you watch Man United games, go and really watch in detail. When the ball goes over the back four's head, he's nowhere to be seen because he's still rooted on his line. And as a modern day keeper, you need to be out there. Go and watch the Arsenal game from last season.
Wait, which one? When he saved us?
No, he saved.
Bro, wait, is that the same game?
Listen, my whole point is he's a fantastic shot stopper. He's probably the best in the world at shot stopping.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about being the best keeper all round. If you go and watch that Arsenal game, yes, he was making some mad saves. There were so many crosses that were coming in his 6-yard box, and he's standing on the line. And as a keeper, you got to be commanding your area. That's why I always say Neuer is always better than him. Because when you watch Neuer, he might not be a better shot stopper than him, but he's better at commanding his box.
Yeah.
He's better at sensing danger. He's better at collecting the ball from crosses. I mean, the other day, obviously we're talking about England and Spain. De Gea went up, caught the ball, and just dropped it on Welbeck's head.
So it should have been a goal, you reckon?
It should have been a goal. That's a clear goal.
Yeah, I think it's a goal. But I don't... De Gea is not the best goal.
He's not the best.
Well, anyway, back to the game though. So England, I liked England's goal, you know. I liked England's goal. The way they worked it from the back and went all the way, and Luke Shaw got in the left, and that peach of a ball for Rashford. Rashford needed that, by the way. But yeah, man, that was a good goal.
It was. I think it was very good.
That ball was dirty.
It was good. It was amazing. It's difficult. No one can say it's not a good goal.
And Marino was in the crowd as well, so I'm happy you saw that.
De Bruyne done that. People were screaming, right?
Exactly. If Kevin De Bruyne does that, everyone's getting mad. That was a mad pass.
Everyone is going mad, rightfully so.
Yeah.
It's not going on.
So what do you think about England anyway, right now? Because me personally, like how we were talking earlier about internationals and that, yeah. When it was England's time to play, like I was just like, there's no really no zeal. But since this World Cup that's just passed, and like I see like a team spirit, it's like I'm now invested. I want to see what can England do. Not saying they're gonna do anything. I just want to see what they're gonna do. So yeah, having watched them, I don't know. Like I felt towards the end of the game it was that same old England and that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, some of them are gonna revert back to their old ways and stuff like that. But Southgate, you got to give Southgate credit. I wasn't his biggest fan when he first came into England, but he's gone in there And I think he's seen other people in world football, how they operate, different cultures, how they are, when he's taking the England players on breaks with the army and all that sort of stuff. So he's probably taking bits and pieces from other countries on how their team bond. Because a lot of the times with England, you see even in Premiership games, when we got English players, they don't even shake hands or give each other a hug or how you doing?
Yeah, I
we
noticed
can be enemies out there, but the Brazilians, the Spanish,
French,
always like
you see them.
Yeah. So he's probably also picked that up. So that the new generation of English players, you might even see that more in the tunnels.
Bro, I saw a video, everyone dapping each other up. I think it was a morning session. Bro, every race, they were doing the same dap to each other. I thought, right, this England team is moving like that, yeah?
So this is what they do, and just to feed off that, I think England, obviously my frustrations with England is that I didn't see certain players. I'm not seeing certain players get pushed when he's talking about the young generation. I think there's a couple players that are good enough right now, but they're just being held back, and they should be shown in this Nations Cup thing. That's what I want to see. I mean, fair play to Callum Wilson. He's been playing well, whatever. Callum Wilson ain't the future.
Who should have been there?
I mean, Jadon Sancho should have been there. That's for number one.
Yeah.
He's playing at Dortmund. He's the number 7 at Dortmund, playing in the German league. And he's playing first team football.
Yeah.
No disrespect, but
right now he shouldn't be.
No, but no disrespect to Callum Wilson.
Why shouldn't Jadon be there?
If Callum Wilson's playing for Bournemouth
and he's in
the England squad, and Sancho's playing for Dortmund,
I'll explain. So, what you don't want to do is get overly gassed with our young players and just start throwing them to the first team squad without putting them through the process. Let him eat a few games at 21 level. Let him play at Dortmund. He's coming off the bench at the moment. It's not like he's starting every game. He's not starting at Dortmund. He's coming off the bench, doing one or two good things, getting an assist, doing well. Let him grow. Like let him be.
Because that's been
then once again, just to go back off that. If that was the criteria for the England team, I would 100% back that up. But when I see players like Luke Shaw have 3 good games and he's straight away into the England team and he hasn't really done nothing for the last couple of years, now I'm thinking, okay, well, if Luke Shaw can get into the team like that, why can't Jadon Sancho?
I get you.
So I'm just saying, if everyone has to go through the process, for me, Luke Shaw has to now go through the process. So if Jadon Sancho has to go through it, everybody else has to go through it.
But Luke Shaw's an England player.
No, but actually, I think that's the mistake that we've made here. He's not an England player. Since when? He's never really established it. Everyone's just said he should be England's best left back for the next 10 years. But he hasn't established that position.
No, but we're not talking... Like, what we're saying is we've come off of a World Cup where England has done the best we've done in years. Luke Shaw had the potential to be going to the World Cup before the World Cup, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sancho wasn't in that.
He wasn't in the fold. No, he wasn't in the mix.
Putting Sancho in now is literally saying we have got wicked youngsters. Let's throw them in. We know we've got wicked youngsters because we're winning all the younger tournaments.
Yeah.
That we're doing it. So let's let them go through the process, and there are going to be 1 or 2 gems that we are eventually going to end up putting in, but let's not do a walk on them. But
what I'm saying for me, I think we all know what the Walcott situation was. A bit of publicity, etc. So he was never going to play. But in terms of Sancho, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Phil Foden,
Hudson-Odoi,
what you do, those guys, you're not going to tell them you're going to be part of the England. Well, just throw them in for a match against Spain. Let me see what you can do. Just let me go. But why not? But why not?
Because what reward are you going to get, and what risk is it?
So what benefit do you get of playing Callum Wilson, who we know will make no England squad whatsoever?
The benefit you get of playing Callum Wilson is that you're justifying current success in the highest league that you're at. So if you're winning this Premier League and you're English, you have a chance of getting England.
So Troy Deeney should have been there.
Vardy as such, like. He might not be going to all the other squads, but guess what? He went to the last squad because he deserved it. And if Callum Wilson bangs in 30 goals, he deserves to be in the England squad, regardless of what we like, whether we like him or not. If he puts up the figures, he deserves to be there over a hot prospect potentially.
But I think that's fair enough. If Southgate is not muttering in the media, we're looking to the future. We look into this, because that's the thing about England and other countries. When you're good enough in other countries, you play.
I'll agree with that. Wait. Sorry. So, from what I know, the argument before this current World Cup was that England don't let their players grow. They don't let the players develop. They throw them straight in like a Theo Walcott situation, yeah? Whereas they showed Spain versus, I think it was Germany, a couple of years back, and it was an under-21 cup, and I think 6 of those players that played in that final played in the World Cup final for Germany, which showed you that they went through the process.
But
we see a lot of players skipping under-21 here.
But it's different though, because the English players are not getting opportunities in these English clubs, but the German players are getting opportunities in the German league because they have to rely on their youth players in the German league. No one has money apart from Bayern Munich. No one has money, so you have to rely on your youth players. In England, there's too much money where a Jadon Sancho is not going to play for Man City anytime soon, so he's got to go to Germany. And Lookman is not going to get into Everton.
I like Lookman,
but he's got to go to Germany.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Callum Hudson-Odoi, I don't know what's going to happen there, but if Chelsea lose him, that's a big thing for them. He might have to go on the continent too. So all these young English players that are coming up now, they're not relying on the English clubs no more. They're going out there and doing what they need to do on the continent.
But will they get noticed doing what they're doing?
They should, but that's my whole point. They should get noticed, and they should be, what's the word I'm looking for? They should be
credited for what they're doing, basically.
Yes, exactly, because you're taking a risk. You're going out your comfort zone. Normally English players grow up in the English league, you don't go anywhere and you don't go and test yourself.
That's true.
But these young players that are coming up now, they're not waiting for these clubs anymore. They're
true.
off. They're gone.
Yeah, but they're not doing, what I'm saying is, for example, Sancho's not doing at Dortmund what Wilson's doing at Bournemouth. Sancho's not doing in the Bundesliga what Wilson's currently doing in the Premier League.
But who's the higher level?
No, but what we're saying is his potential is better. Okay, I get this. And the fact that he's gone there is great, and I think he's going to be a much better player because of it. What we can't say is the fact that you've made that decision, regardless of how well someone else is doing, we're just going to put you in. Because you're not even starting for your club. Like, you're not the guy right now.
Would Jadon Sancho start for Bournemouth?
Yeah. Will Callum Wilson start for Dortmund?
This is my whole point.
This is irrelevant. the reason why this is irrelevant is because he's made a decision to go there and he's not starting. He didn't go Bournemouth and start and do what Callum Wilson's doing. So you have to rate. You can't.
So from Man City youth, he should have stayed in England and stayed somewhere where.
No, I respect what he's done.
Okay.
We're just talking on an England perspective. So I'm so happy for him to have gone Dortmund, get a different culture, not on a loan situation where you're owned somewhere else and you think you're going to go back. Like, I rate that much more, and I think he's going to be a much better player because of it. Do I think that because he's just based on that decision alone, that means he should be in England squad? No, because there are players performing to a higher level right now.
Yeah,
he's going to eventually, I think, surpass all of those players and be one of England's best stars.
I believe that as well.
But I don't think that we should just give him it because he's suddenly gone to Dortmund.
But that's my thinking in terms of you're not really giving it to them when you're basically, you have to test them and see what their mentality is like. We're playing Spain in the Nations League or whatever it's called. I'm just gonna throw you in there. You, Foden, Callum Hudson-Odoi. This is you that are the new star. You that are the new stars coming up. I'm just gonna throw you in there and see how you do. Because guess what? You're in a win-win situation. If you don't perform well, they're not ready. If you perform well, hey, we now need to keep a closer look on these boys because they just might be once again the old notion of if you're good enough, you're old enough. What pressure?
The pressure of playing for England at a time when they're not the best players in their position.
But I think Southgate is doing the opposite for these players now. He's not putting the pressure on them like before. Like the whole country's weights on your shoulders.
Expectations are all-time low,
but it's all down. Like we've got to look to the future. We got to look this. You got to give players time. That's what I think a lot.
But the benefit that he's got is the young players in the England squad are doing well at their clubs in the Premier League.
They're all playing. He said he wants them to all be playing.
That's what I'm saying. That Wilshere didn't get in because he's not playing. If you're not playing, and you might be, if you're all these players that we're mentioning, go and kill it for the under-21s. We might drop you in here and there, but be doing it just because you've made the decision to go abroad. If you're not the best in your position, you shouldn't be pushed there.
But I think
potentially might be.
But I think that's actually a good point. But I also think that international football now is turning more into club football than international.
That's what they're trying to do. That's what I was trying to tell you. What the UEFA Nations, they're trying to make it more like a club.
What I'm saying, even before the UEFA Nations, I think there's certain like countries or whatever. It doesn't matter how you play and whatnot. You're the best player in that. Like you said, the best player in that position. You're gonna play and whatnot. I just think that this Nations League is just a great opportunity to throw these young boys in there, even for a cap.
See, when you said earlier about UEFA Nations Cup, I said there will be a good use.
No. What I'm saying is that the Nations Cup to me is still friendlies. I don't look
right
at
now,
it,
but potentially, the potential of it could be that is what you're saying. That's what I would like it to be.
To me, it's just friendlies. But
what I'm saying, if it got to that, what you're saying, that would be a win for these young boys if it all played out.
I don't think they're in a losing situation, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't think they're in a losing.
If they have a terrible match.
But if they have a terrible match, what's the excuse for them? They're too young. So now, guess what, guys?
We're not writing you off.
Just gonna be over here, doing what you're doing at the under 21s, under 19s, whatever you're doing.
And they're all winning trophies, those young boys.
And let's say if they do really well, then what?
We keep an eye on you.
But there's no eye because they have to play now. The nation wants to see them. There's now a demand for these young hot players to be playing at a level they shouldn't really be playing because...
But that's Southgate's now. You're the manager. You have to manage the situation. Don't let the crowd manage you. If you want to go out there and you believe in if you believe in yourself that these 3 players, they're good for an odd cap. They played well in an odd match, but they're not there for the long haul right now. You just tell the England fans, because right now Southgate's got the England fans
on his side. You can literally tell them what he wants to do. This is what my plan is.
Yeah, he can go out there and say.
Joachim Löw did that with Germany.
I think he's doing it right. I think he's ticking all the boxes correctly. I think he's putting in correct players at correct times.
Yeah,
and players are real like the clearly if you look in the squad. The mentality of the players, the older players, man. Even like the younger ones are running the camp and we know it, and it's good. Mm-hmm. But the older players know it as well. You're getting players that are basically retiring. Look at Kane retiring without retiring. Like, look, I'm stepping back.
These young boys have got it.
These young boys, and that's good.
Yeah.
Like but we still need experienced players.
Oh yeah, of course. So
of course. When you get someone like Callum Wilson who has played as much as he's played in the Premier League, I'm not a Callum Wilson fan. But if you're doing well and you're scoring goals, you should be rewarded. You should have the same playing field as everybody else.
Yeah, that's what we've been crying out for years.
Yeah, and you shouldn't be sacrificed because there's a hot prospect that's coming off the bench somewhere else, and they've made a decision to go somewhere else.
Put it this way.
No, but I'm once again, I think we've lost like the message. My message is not just throw them in there because they've moved.
He's saying reward them as well.
What I'm saying is that Southgate has come out himself and told the fans, we are looking to the future. This is what we're looking for. So me playing Callum Wilson, to me, don't make no sense. Like, if you're telling Callum Wilson, like, listen, you played really well for Bournemouth, I'm going to give you a cap so you can go back, tell your family when your grandkids grow up, where I used to play for England, I got a couple caps, right? Great. But Callum Wilson is not going to be in the next England squad. I can guarantee Callum Wilson, when everyone is fit, he's not even in.
What you just said, does Callum Wilson have the same chance to get in that England squad as anybody else?
I don't think so.
That's the question. It's not about whether you think he's good enough to be there. Because he shouldn't... The fact is, if we don't think Callum Wilson's good enough, he's not good enough. But he clearly is, because he's doing something that's required to be there.
But to me, Callum Wilson is not even above Danny Welbeck in the pecking order. You can see that Southgate...
Danny Welbeck's there as well.
No, but that's what I'm saying is that Danny Welbeck came on. If you're talking about going picking a squad to go to the next competition... Danny Welbeck is ahead of Callum Wilson.
But we're not picking a squad for that.
No, not right now, but we can all we can all right now look at the Euros right now and say if everyone stays fit and everyone's on form, Callum Wilson is not, even if he's on form, even if he's the England top scorer.
Look at what's going to happen in 2 years' time. Look at 2 years ago of England and look where we're at now. Like, you can't, like, we know we're looking to the future, but if Callum Wilson does a Vardy or starts banging in 25, 30 goals a season, he deserves to be there. Regardless of our level that we're putting on Callum Wilson now, as is for any other English player.
I'll conclude by saying, because we're gonna move on. I'll conclude by saying,
if anyone performs to the level, they deserve to be there.
If football back then was the way Big Lee is describing it, what he wants, players like Andy Cole, they would have got more caps. No, bro, you're laughing, but Andy Cole was
laughing because I'm with you.
He was banging goals, and I think he's got like 15 England caps, bro.
Yeah.
So if he's going by what he's saying on merit,
did Ian Wright deserve more?
They would have had more. Yeah, they would have had more. But before we come off the England topic, Harry Kane. So he got awarded the Golden Boot before the game. For his 6 goals. Was it 6?
Yeah,
6 goals at the World Cup. Yeah. Coach, let's get into it, bro.
I won't knock Harry Kane win the Golden Boot because listen, the World Cup's every 4 years. So if you can go and home and put that on your mantle, that's a big achievement. Like, no matter who you scored against, it's a big achievement. I just think he's an overrated striker. That's just my opinion.
Damn.
When it comes to world strikers, I think he's overrated. He's not above Suarez for me. He's not above Cavani. He's not above this Aguero for me. He's not above the certain strikers for me.
Oh, I just clocked. He's not above Cavani, yeah?
To me,
Okay,
I'm saying to me. Like, to other people, yeah, maybe. But I've seen Cavani over his career and the way he's bang goals at different...
Do you think Kane can reach that, or you think that's it? That he's just overrated?
Of course he can reach that. He's young enough.
Yeah, I'm going to say with you then.
Whether he's going to take that next step, because once again, you keep renewing your deals with Spurs and you're coming up short in semi-finals. At some point, people are going to look at you and say, "Hey,
what do you really want?
What do you want?" I mean, you've got all the individual trophies and that now, but
you're a winner.
That sort of, you need that team trophy going on.
But he can easily go and do that somewhere else and win.
That's what I said. I don't know if he's going to take the plunge. If Spurs are doing what they're doing and they're not winning any trophies, is he going to go and take the plunge from like a Real Madrid or?
Do you think he's got the mentality to say, "Nah, I want him," or you think they're just holding him?
I don't know. But I'm saying right now, I personally feel in world football, strikers wise, he's overrated. Because when it comes to the big moments that I've seen so far in Harry Kane's career, he's come up short, and no one can tell me he hasn't. He's come up short when they played against was he playing at West Brom and all that when they were going for the league. He come up short in the semi-final, I think, against Chelsea. He come up short against the semi-final against Man United. In the World Cup, he came up short. Everybody knows that.
He scored 6 goals.
He scored
6 goals, but no, listen. The time that coach was talking about was no.
In the World Cup,
for me,
okay, you've done better than everyone else in your
Okay, I hear that, yeah, but I knew he was gonna bang goals against Panama and all these teams. But wait. So what I was waiting for was that moment when
Belgium.
No, the game that we got knocked out, was it Sweden? Who knocked us out? Croatia. He goes for the shot when he could have squared it to Sterling, yeah? He was so focused on that golden boot. If he squares it to Sterling, that's 2-0.
Yeah,
I get it.
And the game is done, England in the semi-final.
But he's having Kane because he scores the goals normally.
Listen, so does Aguero.
But you have to know when to... These are the moments, the thin lines that we were talking about.
These are the world-class moments.
No, so this is the difference. So he would be a better player had he have squared it. But he bangs in goals. So he gets them goals. As with a Cavani, for example, we know Cavani is banging that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain players that's just what they do. You've got other players that are more better than them. But he's a goal scorer. Harry Kane is not going to take on your whole team.
I'm not going to say he's not a goal scorer, but what's about world class now?
But he's going to get in the right position at the right time and score enough goals to get his team to where they need to get to generally. Now, back to your other point in regards to him staying there, that's down to him. Do you want to be a Shearer or a Michael Owen?
Okay,
Michael Owen got injured
I was going to ask.
early on in his career and had a far more
career.
But Shearer's the highest goal scorer ever in England.
Is Shearer world class?
No.
Wait, let me ask you, because I want to see what you say.
No.
Shearer was a world class goal scorer in my opinion, but didn't do it on the world level.
So is that Harry Kane then? Because literally Harry Kane's a goal scorer, that Shearer was. But what you just described is Harry Kane a world class goal scorer, not a world class player. Is that what you're saying? What I just asked you about Shearer is...
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then you just hit me on the head. That's it.
He's a world-class goal scorer.
He's not a world-class player. Thank you. Yeah, and that's what when I say he's not a world-class player,
I've said that.
But he can be though.
I'm not
because
saying
if he spreads to Sterling, if he spreads to Sterling,
that's our criteria of what we're placing.
World-class criteria now is just
somebody else might say the fact that you score them goals.
There's no criteria for world-class now.
Let me explain. Someone may say the fact that you score them goals makes you world-class. So, for example, I personally think it'd be very controversial. I don't say Inzaghi was world-class. Because that's all he ever gave you was a goal. But people will die by the fact that he wasn't. I get it. I can't question him because that's their criteria on what world class is. It's just not mine. Just scoring goals alone. Put it this way.
You could score the most goals, but when it counts.
In a Premier League season.
Thank you, Kevin Phillips.
Yeah, that doesn't make him world class, but he scored the goals that put him in the level of other players that have.
Thank you.
And make them world class.
You had a good season.
But what's your criteria of world class? Mine's very simple.
What is it?
If you're a player that can get into every team in the world, you're
people
world-class.
say that, but even that line.
That's what I feel. That's what personally I feel.
Even that line there in itself. So wait, who can't, other than Barcelona, because of the way they play?
No. Forget the way they play. I'm talking about the players. I'm talking about the way they play.
So what team is Kane not getting in?
Kane's not getting into the Barca front three. But
that's because Barca play that way.
Forget the playing.
I don't think Aguero will go to Barca.
I'm talking about the way. Forget the way they play. I'm just talking about the players up front. That's what I'm saying.
So could Aguero go Barca?
Yes.
No, but they
Aguero can get into any team for me. Aguero can play for any team.
So who are world-class strikers in your eyes?
For me, Cavani's one.
Could he go Barca?
Yes, for me, yes.
And play where?
See that but you're talking. But what I'm saying, no. That's not why Kane can't play there, because Kane's not a better player than Cavani. That's why he can't play there.
Bro, the goals Cavani
He's not
scores,
a better player than Cavani. It's as simple as that.
Who else?
For me, Aguero, Cavani, I would say Suarez.
Would you put Lewandowski there?
Lewandowski, yes, I'd put him above Kane.
You put Lewandowski there, yeah?
Yes.
So Lewandowski can get the Barca.
I'm saying for me, he can. Other people,
so you're saying take the style of play away, because I don't see this players fit into that system. You mean take the style away?
I'm talking about systems. I'm talking about just getting into the first 11.
Because the problem with this is, can Aguero get into PSG?
I think he could.
Ahead of who?
I think he's better than Cavani.
Yeah, Aguero would.
I think Aguero's better than Cavani.
100% Aguero will bang in PSG.
Can Lewandowski get into PSG?
Yeah, I think
he would as well.
So is Cavani world class, you're saying, yeah?
Yeah,
no, I just said my
level. But he's saying in that ranking. So would you put Aubameyang there?
No.
Could he be there?
No, he could. All these players could. They're still playing.
No, but some players you see
but they're young enough. I'm saying that they're young enough to excel to that next level.
Mbappe there?
Mbappe's a world class player. He's not a striker though. So we're talking about strikers.
He's a striker.
No, Mbappe's not a striker. Mbappe's a striker.
You
look at him as a striker.
Now I do.
A striker.
Wait, he comes up from the wing.
Nah, he's not a striker, man.
He's attacking.
Inside forward or attacking player.
He's just a forward. That's how I know.
He's a forward.
He can play anywhere. He can play.
Well, he could play striker though.
Of course, he can play anywhere.
Okay.
But
You're thinking.
But he's world class for me.
Wait, would you put Mbappe striker?
You might know, because I wasn't thinking striker. See, we were thinking this is why criteria is.
Is the criteria?
I was just thinking forward line. If I'm being real, I was just thinking because that's why I was thinking at Barca.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I was like, how's Cavani gonna get in there?
No, but that's the whole point. You lot are thinking about system. I'm not thinking about myself. I'm thinking about the players there.
Okay, alright, fair enough. Okay. So anyway, Kane's overrated. Let's quickly wrap up this football thing, but we might go in a while on this. Pogba Jose. So Pogba comes out this week during international break. We've just come off a win against Burnley. You know, team spirit's high from what I believe and what I read. Pogba goes to the international break and the French press talk to him and he says, I'm a Manchester United player right now, but who knows? Coach, please tell me why is Pogba saying this?
Because Pogba's agent has engineered a deal with Barcelona for him to go to Barcelona. It's very simple.
That breaks my heart.
And he would I would not be surprised if he goes in January. I would not be surprised whatsoever.
Wait, do we replace him in January?
I don't know what we're gonna do.
But
I would not be surprised if he goes to Barcelona in January.
This is sad.
Why has his agent done that, do you think?
His agent's done that personally because, well, number one, his agent's just about money. That's the business side of things.
He wants sign-on fee.
Another sign-on fee or whatever he's getting paid and whatnot. But I just think that there's just been a breakdown of relationship between him and Mourinho. And guess what? Pogba can't really say anything, so his agent talks all the talk. No one's really... You can't find Pogba for what his agent's saying. But his agent's saying the same thing what Pogba wants to say. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. That's all he's doing. And Pogba hasn't squashed anything. Oh, whatever my agent said, it's nonsense. He hasn't said anything. He just kept quiet.
And right for yourself, that's how you feel.
Yeah, it's just kept quiet. So get it out there. He can't come out and criticise Paul Scholes. But my agent can. So I'll talk to my agent. He will get it out there, and that's my feelings. But nobody can find me or.
And he did say that I don't want to be fined.
Yeah, it's just
that breaks my heart the way you're explaining that, bro.
It doesn't break mine.
Why doesn't it? You're a Man United fan. How do you not see what Pogba brings to Man United?
It doesn't break my heart,
bro.
Because at the end of the day, I don't support Pogba FC.
No, neither do I. But I know what he can bring to us.
I know what he can bring to us. But at the end of the day, there's no one player that's above the team like that. And once we start giving players that sort of mentality, the whole team is in trouble. The whole team is in trouble. We need leadership right now in Man United. And we need to give Mourinho that leadership. Whether we like the style of play or whatever it is, so what happens if the next manager comes in and Pogba don't like him? Oh, he has to go too?
No, because they're trying to engineer Zidane, from what I believe.
Well, so what if Zidane doesn't get on with him?
The French connection,
you say
bro.
That,
Shout out French connection club. And
what if Mourinho carries on how he is?
But that's the thing with me. I'm Mourinho in. So
because he's got 1 year left of what Man United agreed and what Mourinho agreed they were going to do. So if Man United now are looking at it and saying, we're not at where we wanted to be at when we started this, it's going okay, but it's not where we're at. You might not give him the resources for the next year if you're thinking, to be honest, it's not, our boxes that we've got aren't being ticked.
Well, as I said in the previous podcast, the board, they have no leg to stand on with me. They have no leg to stand on with me at all. You're not coming out really backing the manager. Yeah, you're not coming. You're giving him a new contract. You're not giving him the resources he needs to challenge Man City. And I think a lot of people lose that perspective on things. It's not about just giving him money. It's what Pep wants, Pep gets. And if you want me to challenge those boys down the road, you need to give me what I need. If I don't cut it, I'll put my hands up and say I'm not.
Okay, I'm about to get onto you there.
But
because they're giving him money.
But once again, he's now coming and he's now his third season. We all know it takes a couple of transfer windows every summer
you know what?
to build your team.
Pep bought was it Claudio Bravo at the time?
Yeah.
He brought him in, saw that he wasn't good enough,
Off.
took the L and brought in another keeper. Liverpool did that with what is it, Carriers? And then they brought Mignolet and then they brought Alisson in.
But then this is what you have to understand as well. You've got the club and you've got the manager. So do the club believe in the manager as much as those clubs believed in those managers?
But they gave him a new contract.
This is what I'm going.
But
that's, I don't understand that.
That's what I don't understand either because I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you gave him a no contract. What for?
Why give him a new contract?
Yeah,
then?
We don't
If you
know what's in that contract though.
But
you've given him.
gave him the contract to say
You said stay
we're
here.
happy with you to extend.
So now give me what I want now.
Yeah,
so that I can
exactly.
do. Or did you just want me to stay in charge? So I get that, and that's
my
what
point.
I understood.
From the club's perspective, it may have been in their best interest to have. I don't know what's in contract because a contract's a contract. We don't know what is in there. So it could be.
You got a raise.
Yeah, he might earn more money,
you
but
got
what is he? He's obviously giving something up, I assume.
He's giving up his management.
Listen, Joe.
See what I'm saying? It's something that in there that the club want. It might be that if they get rid of him early, it's less money. It could be anything.
Joe,
See what I'm saying? It's a contract. That doesn't mean they want to keep him.
Jose Mourinho is a manager for now. We all know that. So if you're gonna go and get him, give him what he wants for now. If he's not your long-term plan or whatever it is on the board, fine. That's not a problem.
And if he leaves players that are old that have no resale value.
But that's the whole point. Now we're talking about resale value. Are we talking about football or are we talking about resale value?
Well, it's a club.
Which one?
It's a club.
But
Wenger, shout out Wenger. Wenger got us all moving like accountants, but you know.
But that's my whole point. You even got fans thinking about resale.
That's Wenger. Wenger did that to me. I started looking at, hey, wait, the budget. What's our budget saying?
I do not care if I get a 29-year-old player in. He plays for my club
but now
for
we
3
do. That's
years,
the way football is now.
Can't sell him at 32.
Because Perisic.
As fans, we become more smarter to what the workings of football, so we can have more logical ideas.
So we can be like, nah, 29-year-old.
As a football fan, no matter who you support, especially if you support a top club, where do you get your glory and satisfaction? Trophies. That's it. We're not there for the bonus sheets,
But
the profits.
justify
They don't give us
everyone
money
based
back
on
for
the
paying
other
tickets
stuff.
and all that. What do you mean?
What I'm saying is, so 20 years ago, you might blame a player. You might never blame a manager. You might never blame a chairman. But now we have information that we can make a more informed decision on our choices, on what we're saying. So when you say I don't trust in the board, you might not have had the information to hand previously to have such a decision. Does that make sense? To have a choice. But now you do. You can now say stuff like, well, that's not good business because you know sort of what they're looking at when they're looking at business.
But what I'm saying is, they've since Fergie's left, it's been 5-6 years, and we've had 3 managers. To me, those maths tell me that the board don't know what they're doing.
We're moving like Chelsea, bro.
They don't know what they're doing.
Chelsea, that's not where we are. We're not Chelsea.
Yeah, that's my whole. At some point, we have to back a manager, and I think this is the right manager.
But back a manager that doesn't stay long.
No, they might not think he's the right manager for business-wise. That's why he comes out and he says, "Call me a head coach." You might as well stop calling me a manager. That's why I said in the Premiership, I think there's only 2 managers. I think there's Pep Guardiola and there's Jurgen Klopp. Everybody else is a head coach. You give him what you're given and you work with it. Simple.
But Mourinho's reputation, he shouldn't be in that. He shouldn't
be in that. But that's why he was so off in the summer, because he interview after interview about is any players coming in.
Mourinho's just given what he's getting. Wait, hold up. You think Mourinho's just been given what he's given and has to work with it?
No, because Mourinho knows he's coming there for a project. This is his 3rd season. You're not going to get all your players in 2 seasons. You have to get it one summer, then the next summer. Then the next summer, now you're building a squad and getting rid of the old players.
But he didn't get rid of the players this season.
Does Mourinho not spend more money on a striker than any other player ever in England?
But this is...
That's not given
what he's given. Maybe he spent wrong then.
But he's striker. He's already cast that striker away before. He knows him.
But
you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's not given. He's not gone to a club and they've said, "Oh, it just worked."
He definitely takes it. He definitely takes it.
But this is where the fans are losing the whole. This is what I don't understand fans no more. You're talking about how much a player costs. I don't care how much a player costs. Is he good enough for what we need? Yes, he is. Do Man United have the money? Yes. Apart from the Dallas Cowboys in America, Man United are the richest sports club. So you have money. So you go and pay 75 million for Lukaku. You go and pay Pogba 90 million, and we get the right team that we need. I don't care about.
Sorry. Having a value as a brand, as a company, doesn't give you financial.
No, but know that you're. I know, but you're going into now finances, which I clearly know that just because you're worth 4 point.
If Man United's not
whatever
getting to the Champions League, they're not going to earn more money than to spend. And regardless if their brand is going up in value, their actual operating in regards to financial fair play, they can't draw that value.
And that's to me as a fan, that's not a problem. But you see, when our CEO comes out and makes statements like we're going to be in the transfer market doing things that no other club can do. That was his statement. That wasn't Jose's. That wasn't anyone. That was the CEO talking about we can do things in the transfer market that other teams only dream about. Really? So once you put that out there, now you're under pressure. So deliver the money then.
But he spent more money on the striker than anybody else. It's just not like you haven't.
But you keep coming back to he's spent more money on a striker than anyone. To me, that's no relevance to us.
No, do you take the L that Jose spent wrong, but he should be able to be given more?
It's not like he's not. It's almost like you're saying Jose's gone there. He's been given no assets, no funds to work, but it's like he has been, and it's not worked, and now it looks like they're questioning that decision on giving that to him.
This is my thing in terms of the players that he's bought. If we go through all of them, I personally don't think he bought Paul Pogba. That's my personal opinion.
I believe that as well.
I think that was an Adidas signing. Yeah. Wonderful. Pogba is one of the Adidas ambassadors. He makes money for the club. Adidas is just gave us a new deal, blah, blah. That's the business side. That's what I think. I think that was a Woodward signing. That's me. Lukaku, definitely Jose signing. Looks like Drogba, blah. He's matured. He's gone elsewhere. He's a much better player. I'm ready to have him. No problem. Bailly and Lindelof, I do not think that he thought that he's going to build a dynasty at Man United off Bailly and Lindelof. I think them two were replacements for Smalling and Jones.
Let's get deep. That's
me.
And why don't you think Smalling and Jones went?
But the problem is getting rid of Smalling and Jones is harder to prove. It's harder to do than what we want them to do.
They're on
too much because them players ain't performing to the level that they need to be.
They're on too much.
Make it easy enough to get rid of them.
No. I just think that the wages and all that sort of stuff. And
other teams gonna pay their wages.
You see with Woodward, what I've seen of him as well, he's a very, very good businessman. Very, very good. And he doesn't seem like the type of guy that if someone's worth 20 million, just to get rid of them, he'll give you it for 10. He doesn't seem that guy because it's all about profits for him. If a player's worth 20, don't come with 10 million and say you want to take Chris Smalling on my hands. No, he's worth 20. We've done the numbers. He's worth 20. Who is buying Chris Smalling for 20? Who's buying Phil Jones for over 20 million?
So you think Jose wants to get
Who's paying their wages? No one's going to pay their wages.
You can get a little bargain off United here and there. Like what are you being?
Players are definitely
bargaining. We're talking about Phil Jones and Chris Smalling. We're not talking about.
How many years has Woodward been there now?
Woodward's been there Moyes days.
5 years.
So was Depay not a buy? Was that not a bargain when they sold him?
Yeah, it was. We bought Depay for more.
What I'm saying is that
had players that then just let them go.
You're talking about Memphis Depay who can make a difference to a team, and Chris Smalling.
No, but
I'm spending 25 on Memphis Depay.
Yeah.
If I'm Leon, I'm
not spending
25 on Chris Smalling.
Someone that you can see that
that's what Depay's worth, that and some. Do you get what I'm saying? It's the and some United are willing to give up.
Yeah, but even like
you have to have a buyer.
I don't think that, of course you have to have a buyer, but I think obviously it's risk. Do you risk getting rid of some of these players for what? For another buyer? For another?
No. But
that's what you're saying. So you think he bought them in?
I think he bought them to replace them as backup centre back.
Okay, who was
now? Why he's so frustrated this summer is that we were supposed to go in the summer and get whatever 5 players those was. I'm sure 2 of them were probably centre backs, experienced centre backs, so we can kick on. And then if those players are injured, we can now bring Lindelof and Bailly. But now we have to now rely on Lindelof and Bailly. And it's looking like, oh, you know what, Jose bought Lindelof and Bailly, and they're not cutting it.
One of them that he was trying to bring in was Perisic, so he's like 29.
Yeah. But Perisic would have been great for our team.
Left-footed player.
A winger. We don't have no wingers. out and out winger that can go down the line, that can cut in. We don't have that.
And he wanted to get rid of Martial, but Woodward said, nah, this guy can't go.
So this is my point. It all depends. So you got to think as a club and as a manager. Like, do you trust in that manager that much to do all of that? Like, you might say,
extend my contract. Let me go.
No, but let me explain. It all depends on what's in that contract. How expensive it to let him, because we're just looking at it as they like him, so they're giving him more time and more money.
So
what's in the why are they extending? They might have an ulterior motive that we just don't know.
But do you think that Jose is going to sign a new contract at Man United, not knowing that he's got power?
Nah, he's not.
He's not that type. Because once again, you keep saying I'm a 3-year, 4-year manager. Well, if that's the case, the time is ticking right now. It's ticking. I need my players now to win now, because I'm seeing down the road that Man City are just collecting trophies there.
They just put Mahrez.
Exactly. I need to win now. So I'm not going to extend my contract knowing that you're just going to give me any players, or you're not going to give me.
So let me ask you, Coach, with the whole player power thing, Pogba, Mourinho, who would you like to, if they had to? It seems like they're not seeing eye to eye, so one has to go.
Pogba can go.
Pogba can go.
He can go.
And who do you replace Pogba with?
It's not about who you replace him with. That's their job. It's not my job. It's Mourinho's job. That's the club's job. That's not my job. But if you're asking me who would I like to stay at Man United, I would like Mourinho, because I like us to be a club that backs our manager. That's a world class. Nobody. That's a world class
also as well,
manager.
the players that Mourinho let go, De Bruyne, Salah, they're doing madness in the league.
Come on. But listen.
The problem with Mourinho is he didn't just let them go. He vilifies them. It's almost as if he cast them. It's like, it's not just letting them, because good players can leave clubs and it happens. Pogba left United, and it's not like, oh, you let him go. We know it's not your fault.
Yeah.
You get me? But that's Mourinho's whole thing. Even with Lukaku, he vilifies these players.
Okay.
He does a Luke Shaw to them. He does a Pogba to them.
But
why do you do that?
But once again, when everyone keeps saying he does a Luke Shaw to them, and Luke Shaw comes out and says what everyone's saying about this guy is just nonsense. He's different in the background. I'm fine with him, etc. So, but if he doesn't sign a new deal, he can. I mean, is he going to go higher than Man United? Who's going to buy him higher than Man United?
But no one's going to have to buy him because he's got what?
No, but what club is he going to go to the highest stage?
I think he wants to stay. What I'm saying is, if Luke Shaw's in a situation where he's in, that happens again, and he's why would you sign him?
So even
why would that, for what reason? This is your career. Why
even going back to the point about Salah and all these players, it's very easy to pick those players and stuff like that. But at the time, Salah's at Chelsea, was anyone complaining when he left? Was anyone complaining about when De Bruyne left?
But Mourinho sees his players. Doesn't he see that this player can
what I'm saying is that at Chelsea, we all know what Abramovich came there to do. I need to win now. I don't need to watch De Bruyne grow up 4 years before we win a trophy. That's not what the type of chairman I am. I'm giving you money and I'm just pumping the money in.
But
and I need
that's not the way the board is at United.
But what I'm saying is that we don't know what the board is at Man United.
No, but not. You can obviously see it's not like that. That we take anything you want. We want to win now. No, we're not moving like that.
What I'm saying is, why did you bring Mourinho in?
Yeah, that's what my thing is. Yeah.
Why did you bring him in?
That's what my thing is.
Keep Louis van Gaal for a couple of
No.
You might be happy with what Mourinho's done. And
I'm happy with what Mourinho's done. He's steadied the ship.
You deem more suitable. If that, like, you might be, it might not be all terrible, but you just. The fact is, Mourinho looks like he's losing the dressing room at Man United. That's what it looks like happening.
So I'm about to ask you,
if he's losing the dressing room, he'd be gone by now.
No, losing. He's gone.
He hasn't lost it.
No. I think once again, I think it's just a couple of players which you get in every dressing room.
But it's the main players.
The same thing that he's doing to Martial is Pep is doing to Sane.
Let's talk. You know what? I forgot about that.
No one's talking about what Pep's saying about. They're saying the same thing as Sane. Sane can do anything he wants on a football pitch. He's a fantastic player, but sometimes his attitude is wrong, so he has to be left out of the squad. Is anyone saying anything there? And you know why no one's saying nothing? It's just because they're winning. That's all it is. And guess what? With Pep, if he had Man United squad and Sane in that squad, do you think he could just leave out Sane like that? No, because guess what? He's got the squad where Sane, if you don't want to play, I'll bring Sterling in. I'll bring Mahrez in. I'll bring Bernardo Silva in. These are adequate replacements. So if you want to have a bad attitude, you're just out the squad. But guess what? Who brought him that squad? It was the Man City board to say if our manager needs to have control of this squad, he needs to have quality going out, quality coming in. We don't have that at Man United. So when Martial goes out, a lot of people are just up. Oh, Martial, you can
But
see.
if we had like a Mahrez or someone in the sideline or
someone,
Perisic,
but we don't have that.
Oh,
is that because they don't value Mourinho like Man City value Pep? It's as simple as that.
I think that's what it is.
About value.
I think the board don't value.
That doesn't give the club that value. They're not going to.
No, but Man City have brought Pep in for a reason. It's their manager. Obviously, they worked at Barcelona and stuff. But what they've done, they've said, Pep, come in. You just let us know what you want.
Yeah,
and we'll do it.
Did you watch the documentary?
Yeah, I've watched the documentary.
I think they've said no. I think it's more than that. I think they've said, Pep, come in and sort us out. What do we need?
Yeah.
We want to be great.
Yeah.
We don't know how to be great. We've got assets to be.
We believe in
show us. That's not what United's doing to me, I don't think. I think it's very different. I think their wants and their demands.
What you're saying is let's look at reality, let's look at logic. Yeah. He's not wrong, but Man United are not looking for that.
Yeah,
they're not in the same position as that. Mourinho, please help us.
Pep can sell Sané and stay there.
But he's going to go, why did he give him a contract?
We are in no position as Man United fans or the board to be telling Mourinho, we don't need you to do this and that for us. We haven't done nothing in 5 years. And that 5 years is going to turn into 10 years. Then it's going to turn into 15. Ooh. Next thing you know, we're going to be Liverpool that ain't won the league in about 30 years. Because we didn't take care of problems quite early. Because we didn't back our manager quite early. We're just going through manager after manager after manager.
Only going to be there for one more season or something. Because that's what he normally does. That might not be... What I'm saying is, they might not have that long-term plan for him. He may have sort of papered over the cracks that they needed to be papered over in this meantime, and now it's time to look to see what we really need for our squad going forward.
But what I'm saying is that's not a problem if you're telling Mourinho... The way Mourinho's acting in the media, he's been told one thing, and the thing's just been flipped on his head. And he's not happy about that. I've come in here, you've told me you want a big time manager with a big personality that puts Man United back on the map, not like a Moyes or Van Gaal or whatever it was, and I'm trying to do that summer after summer. I need you guys to back me. But now all of a sudden, you have to work with the players that you've got right now, and we can't get rid of Smalling and Jones and Darmian and all these players and stuff like that.
Darmian.
Listen, tell me.
Darmian?
No, Louis Van Gaal signed Darmian. This is my whole point.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, he's the one that signed Darmian. Yeah.
We'll definitely revisit this. Because I was going to talk about boxing, yeah? We're going to go to boxing, but I wanted to quickly talk about Sane. I forgot to put that down in the notes. Sane, yeah? What's happening? Premier League winner. Was he Young Player of the Year?
Yeah, last year.
Oh my God. Didn't go to the World Cup. Yeah. Everyone's like, nah. Something's going on. Is it people are shouting racism, people are shouting, I don't know. Then, the season starts. He's not starting for Man City. The last weekend, he wasn't even in the matchday squad. What's happening?
It's just bad attitude. It's the Martial situation.
Who says bad attitude? How do you know it's bad attitude? What, you just
Pep's come out and said it.
Antonio Cruz.
Yeah, he did come out and said it. It's just bad attitude. He can be whatever he wants to be, but it's bad attitude. He's maybe come to a comfort zone where he thinks he's made it. He's arrived.
Maybe the World Cup dealt a blow to him.
It might have dealt a blow to him, but whatever it is, when you're with Pep and Man City, there's a certain standard that you need to keep up. You know, I remember when Pep was talking on Monday Night Football with Gary Neville and the other presenter saying, Gary Neville asked him, how do you get people like De Bruyne and Silva to run for you? He says it's quite simple. If you don't run, you don't play. It doesn't matter who you are. If you don't run for me, you're not going to play. And that's how he's treating Sane. I don't care what you're...
Sane, I've never seen... Have you ever seen a game where Sane looks like he's not with it? Obviously, there was the last game. Who did they play? I think it was Wolves at home. And he came on and he was poor. But that's the only time I've ever seen him move like that.
It's probably the action
always given as well. You never...
Yeah, you don't know. He's a young player as well.
Like what I'm saying, but that's like he could be wilding out. Like, and we just don't know. Like he could be going on madness. Like it could be nothing. And we just don't... Like,
It's definitely the background because there's nothing on the football pitch that shows me he's...
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's definitely something in the background.
Because he's pulled out the latest German squad, right? Himself.
Yeah.
But wait. Tony Cruz, your teammate, is coming out and just threw under the bus. Yeah. Is that somewhere you want to go? And they left you out in the World Cup.
But what I'm saying is, we're only getting that because that's the way in which we're getting the information. What if Tony Cruz already knew he'd left the German squad? Because they'd already been told that. You know, and this is just something that's his attitude's just not it. What do you say? He's the same.
But can't you just say to the media just the generic? Yeah, you know, he's a good player. And why do you have to go? Why do you have to go in like that?
No, I agree. You don't.
And you're a senior player. And you're doing it to a young player. Yeah. Something's going on, man. I'm sorry,
once
man.
Again, I'm not from this new school, so
You're basically using him as a scapegoat for the World Cup that he wasn't even in.
What Tony Cruz said is, if that's what's going on, that's just the truth. You're just gonna have to deal with it. If your body language is poor, yeah,
I got time
if
for
your
Sane,
attitude
man.
is poor,
So have I.
I got time for Leroy, man.
anything on the pitch.
But you don't know what's happened.
With his ability. That's what Crow said.
It's not a
With his
problem.
ability, he can do stuff in the German squad nobody can do. That's what Crow said. Nobody in the squad.
They needed him for the World Cup.
But your attitude is poor. And you know, being a professional footballer is more than the ability that you have, the talent that you have. You have to be professional. You have to have a certain attitude. You have to carry yourself a certain way, whether you like it or not. To make it to the top, it's the same thing Martial's going through. But it's just that Mourinho's not winning, so it's more.
I don't know. Like I said, I've always seen Sane give 100%.
And they shouldn't have dropped him.
They shouldn't have dropped him, man.
And
Sane, whatever
shouldn't
happens.
have dropped Martial. Because they can't afford to.
I can't agree with that one.
Whether we like the fact that City have the squad and the resources to have a backup, they can still afford to drop these players.
Yeah,
if you don't, you might not be able to afford to drop them in the same way.
Yeah.
Like your level
That's
of
the
dropping
point.
them might have to vary based on your
But
backup.
for me, I've seen Martial recently. I don't even know why people are even backing him.
I'm a Martial guy.
I'm a Martial guy. But what I'm saying is that I've seen him recently.
If you're a Martial guy, then you can't live for the moment. You have to look at.
No. When I say recently, I'm talking about his last 8 to 10 games, where I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, there's so many people out there, Martial, that you have no idea that vouch for you and how special you are. People forget that he was in the same bracket as
Mbappe and Dembele and all that. Yeah.
at Monaco.
Yeah.
Them lot grew up the same way. And Ranieri said the same thing about about Martial.
That
when
what?
he was coming through the Monaco system.
What did he say?
It's the same thing, the attitude. He can be whatever he wants, but he's so relaxed. He's so, I've made it, I've arrived. I don't need to put in the extra work because my talent is so good. It usurps me having to work
maybe
hard.
this, I'm
and
hoping
look at Mbappe. Look at
can I just say
Mbappe,
this?
19 years old, and he plays like
he's
he's going to get dropped every game.
It's true.
That's how he plays. He plays like, I'm going to get, and he doesn't deserve to get dropped whatsoever, Mbappe, but that's how he plays every game.
I think that's the difference. I think you've got players that are willing, that put that work in and do what is required, and I think it's the same for managers. Like, I think everything you just said about Martial, if you just take out Martial and put Mourinho, he's lost 8 to 10 games. Every single thing, his attitude, he don't want to change. Every single thing is the exact same.
that's killed me.
True.
That's actually true.
No, it's the exact same. He won't. Mourinho is the epitome of that, the spoilt child. Like, I will not change. You will do what I will say. I'm going to sell the best players. I'm going to tarnish everybody.
But everyone keeps saying that he's going to sell the best players. Like, who is he going to sell?
Listen,
I don't understand who's these best players that he's going to sell.
So-
Because in world football, I'm taking Mourinho's word over Martial. That's me.
What do you mean in world football?
I'm just saying in terms of what they've done in their football careers and whatever. I'm taking Mourinho over Martial.
But anybody would. But then look at what's happening in their football careers right now.
Yeah, and what's Martial doing?
But look who his manager is. Look what's Pogba
No,
doing,
but
and then look
see-
what he's doing internationally.
But
Look
see,
what's happening.
So why didn't Deschamps take Martial then? Because of what?
Because I don't think he was playing that much.
He weren't in the squad. He wasn't even a squad. He wasn't even a squad player to take.
I'm
him
hoping
there
that's a kick
and
up the
say-
backside for Martial.
But he doesn't.
But
I
anyway,
don't think he
let's-
understands that.
It should be.
Don't worry about that, man.
He's better than what he's performing at.
Listen, Martial, hopefully you pull it together. Let's talk boxing talk, man. Yo, guys, so you know, we're not just a football podcast. We are a sports podcast. We talk about all the sports. We're gonna have some boxing talk for you now. So, Shawn Porter vs Danny Garcia. That was last night.
Should we go to the Amir Khan one first?
Oh yeah. That was in the evening. Yeah. So Amir Khan fight. Who is it? Vargas. Now Vargas has been beaten by Errol Spence. He got beaten by Garcia. So it was Amir Khan's turn. He made hard work of it, boy. Got dropped. He dropped him. Then he got dropped. Then he dropped him again. But he made hard work for it. He did win on was it decision?
Yeah,
unanimous.
Yeah, he should have done it.
Yeah.
He clearly won.
What do you think about his performance?
It was shocking.
You know, Big Lee's actually confess.
Because that's a poor opponent. It's a poor opponent. When I was watching that fight, and I'm seeing Khan just pap, pap, 1, 2, pap, pap. I'm just like, this is going to be over quick, fast, and in a hurry because he's just too skilled for him.
Yeah.
Khan is
He's very
way
fast.
above.
My girl was watching. My girl was like, he's fast.
But
I'm like, yeah.
everybody knows. It's like the Floyd thing. Everybody's tuning in for Khan to see if he gets hit on the chin.
When he got dropped
That's
here,
it. That's
the amount of voice notes I got,
Will he
people
get hit on
laughing.
the chin?
It was mad.
And will he be Bambi on us? That's what everybody tunes in for.
It was both.
Or a quick 1-2 and a masterclass from Khan. It's either a masterclass from Khan or he's gonna get hit on the chin.
But that's what I respect about him because you can't change how strong your chin
You can't.
is. Like, you know what I mean? So he's out here.
You're a
his
Khan
chin is
fan,
what it
innit?
is.
Give you 100.
You know, I support Khan. When I say support Khan, I can't say I support Khan. I like Amir Khan. And the reason why I like Amir Khan is he's done things that no British boxers aren't really willing to do.
What do you mean?
Go abroad and just start fighting in America
He was
and fight tough fights. His resume compared to any other British boxer at his weight class is unrivaled. Regardless of whether Kell Brook's got more fights, their resumes are unrivaled for a reason. He's willing to fight in fights that other.
When he fought Canelo, when he took that fight, I was like, wow. Because I was like, you know what's gonna happen. You're just taking for the
Why was you
paycheck.
like wow? Why was you like wow?
Because I knew Canelo was gonna take his head off.
No, he's gonna take his head off, but it was a nice payday for him.
Yeah.
That's why he took it. It wasn't because he's a brave fighter or nothing like that. Khan, for me,
Bro, if you're getting taken off, you're a brave fighter.
yeah. I mean, listen, Khan has been doing the bouncing around for he's had so many different trainers, so many different promoters. That tells me something about the fighter. That's me. It tells me something about the fighter.
What does it
that
tell
you
you?
can just bounce around like that. You're not secure within yourself. That's what it shows me. You're not secure within yourself within the boxing.
You're just trying to maneuver in the boxing scene.
Yeah, because for me, all he's done is finessed himself out of Kell Brook's fight all over.
Kell Brook was probably watching that fight yesterday when he got dropped. Like, oh, don't get knocked out here, bruv. Like, this is our main fight. I'm trying to collect this bag.
But
Don't get knocked out by this
The
guy.
difference from Brook's perspective, that's our main fight. That's because that's Brook's mindset. Khan's
Yeah, he's
mindset
chasing it a bit
is
too.
our main fight.
He's chasing it
Khan
a bit
will
too
talk
much for me.
about Pacquiao because that, as I said, he will just. That's just his mindset. You've got other British boxers that just look who Brook fought, for example, since he won his world title. His only big fight was his mandatory, unless if he gives it up or you fight Will Spence. He fought and lost.
I saw you for Golovkin.
He did fight Golovkin.
Come on, bro.
Golovkin and Errol Spence. Let's not forget that.
Oh yeah, he fought Errol.
He
Yeah,
fought
come on. You
Errol
can't not
Spence.
use that for that. I'm
I've
sorry.
not heard Amir Khan
Errol
talk about
Spence
Errol.
was his mandatory.
can't
So
do this.
unless if you give up your world title, either you give up your world title or you fight Errol Spence. So his
Certain
whole
fighters
team
will-
said
Exactly.
give it up. His whole team said give it up. He said no, I'm good enough.
Cause yeah,
Yeah, so he went. This is the only time he's fought at his weight class. That's not the him putting up a risk. So he went to America and had that really tight fight with Shawn Porter, and then fought nobody.
You thought that was a tight fight. He outclassed
He
Shawn
beat
Porter.
Shawn Porter,
He
bro.
outclassed
probably
Shawn
better than
Porter.
even Furman did.
Yeah, exactly.
More clearer.
He outclassed
What?
Shawn Porter.
That was a split decision. What are you
No,
talking about?
whether the decision
You
was
don't judge
split,
us up,
unanimous
not
by-
balanced.
But it was
when you watch that fight.
Shawn Porter did. He was always there
Shawn
fighting.
Porter did.
It's Shawn Porter.
Do you know what I mean? You know what Shawn Porter
Listen,
does, isn't
but
it?
Kell was picking him off, and it was
Picking him
more.
off,
It was
no.
more accurate than
Picking him
even
off.
Furman. Because I watched a Furman fight. We'll talk about that after. But I watched a Furman fight.
I was happy for Brook, like mad happy for
Yeah.
Brook. But I think Brook's a good fighter. I just don't think he's got heart in himself.
What? Golovkin when he took his
Oh
bro,
my
nah.
This is my point.
See, you like Amir Khan too much because
It's
for
not
you,
about Amir Khan.
You're a Amir Khan fan.
bro, he's
No,
Amir
let me
Khan
explain. I
fan.
want Brook to do. I think Brook's better. I think Brook will knock Amir Khan out.
Yeah,
Let me explain. I just don't think Brook's got heart, which is why we're not seeing him fighting those level of fights.
Errol
Why-
Spence.
Let me explain. You're saying Errol Spence because he don't want to.
Golovkin.
He seemed to give up his title. And what happened in Errol Spence? He quit.
You can't,
Golovkin.
but listen, you
Yeah,
can't.
and his team threw in the towel. His heart's not. Look at all. He was mandatory for years and didn't want to fight for the title.
I would say arguably he gave Golovkin a better fight than most fighters.
Of course.
He done well with Golovkin.
So
But what I'm saying is that you can't fight Golovkin and Errol Spence and say that fight ain't got heart. You can't. That doesn't even
You
add
can
up.
when the fighter against Errol Spence quits against Errol Spence.
No, but it's not about. Errol Spence just
that was
beat
after
you
the
up.
eye socket when Golovkin beat him.
Yeah, exactly. And then the eye socket went again.
No, the eye socket didn't go again. He didn't have the same surge. This is my point. It was on the other eye that he said it hurt.
God damn,
He
was
just
the other eye.
quit.
Socket
This is my
gone.
point. He just quit. Is what happened. This is why.
Would you have fought him if it wasn't his mandatory?
Who?
Errol.
No, of course not.
After you're fighting Golovkin, everybody else at
No.
147 is not a problem for you.
What are you talking
to
about?
fight. If you're
Golovkin's
gonna
a
go fight
Everybody
Golovkin,
is. When you're struggling and you've not fought anybody really at 147. Golovkin is just a payday. Golovkin, you're going up in weight. We're gonna have a fun time. I'm still world champion. I'm still.
So
nice.
are you rating Amir? So are you rating Amir Khan for the fact that he went to America
Canelo.
and had all these fights? Who did Amir Khan fight in America?
Canelo.
He fought Peterson,
Danny
Canelo,
Garcia. All L's that you're saying, you know. Everybody you're saying is an L.
But he said he ain't got heart. He said he got.
This is my point. Is Kell Brook willing to take those fights? Has Kell Brook spoke about any of those fighters even to now? He will only talk about Amir Khan because his heart's not in there.
But what I'm saying,
yeah, I don't know why he's chasing Amir Khan so much, man.
He's not. Why is he not talking about these fights? Why is Khan talking about Mayweather and Pacquiao and he's talking about Amir Khan?
The reason why Khan is talking about those other fighters because he's ducking Kell Brook and it's a money. Khan brings money to the table. Let's not get
more than Kell Brook.
Yeah, way more than Kell Brook.
Yeah.
Way more than Kell. He has that certain market.
Yeah,
where
I'm a celebrity. Yeah.
So with him, he knows he's the cash cow when it comes to them two. But what it is with
that fight will always be there for him.
What it is with Kell Brook, not Kell Brook, Amir Khan, is that during the years he's been opening up his mouth too much. Kell Brook. When you get a world title,
yeah,
fighting,
exactly.
You get a world title.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're not fighting.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? It needs to be 154. He does one. I don't want to fight. Okay,
then can Kell Brook,
Can Kell Brook make 147?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Why should Amir Khan go up in weight just because Kell Brook's gone
No,
up in weight?
but
Because he lost.
No, but the whole point.
Why should Amir Khan change?
The whole point.
He's running hoops, man.
Did you fight Canelo at what weight?
Okay,
Was it 147?
No, of course.
It was Canelo's weight. So why wouldn't you fight Brook at 154?
Because Brook has just gone up in weight because he lost. So what? Now I'm going to change because you decide to go up. No, I'm the A side. Am I a waste man?
No.
I'm the A side.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? How can I bring all the money to the table? You were fighting that. You've been fighting that weight your whole life. Isn't it? You've been number one. You've been world champion. You've done it all. And because you lose and you want to change, I should now go up in weight.
What I'm saying is that
not at all.
If they put 147 in front of Kell Brook, he's making that weight.
Yeah, because they asked him to reset yesterday. He said, "I'll make it." So when he does it, what?
So what's the excuse now?
So when he does what? When he makes
the excuse of what?
What's the excuse? I want Pacquiao. What old man Pacquiao? That's doing
no,
the presidency, whatever he's doing.
Now this is the difference. Even if regard to this Kell Brook thing, who's going to be more likely to want to fight someone like Pacquiao, Brook or Khan?
What do you mean?
Brook would fight Pacquiao. Why not?
Brook would fight Pacquiao. Are you mad?
Brook isn't looking to fight anybody. He's just moved up, and who is he for? He's not fighting. This is not Brook's mindset. When he won his world title, unless if he gave up that title to Spence, he was going to lose it. Right. So he fought him and quit. This is like, you see what I'm saying? That this all he does is fight.
Right now.
But I rate him a lot. This is the mad thing. I think he beats Khan. I think he actually knocks out Khan.
So that means you realize that Khan is ducking then?
Exactly.
No. See, this is what I'm saying.
I think Khan knows he beats him.
Take Brook out of the equation. Take Khan out of the equation. Just look at it from boxing perspective. You got someone who's fighting all of these names. He's gonna lose. He might win, like when he fought. Obviously, Peterson was a bit of a setup because he lost, but then they gave it to him. So he's fighting all these fights. You got someone else who's just not willing to take them level fights. Really, just at that weight class, just not willing to do it. But they want to run their mouth, and it's a big fight. It's gonna earn you good money. If Khan beats Brook, for Khan's legacy, it's far less than if he beats Pacquiao. Khan has more.
Yeah, he wants Pacquiao on the TV.
He can always fight Brook.
That fight's always there.
Because Brook's always going to be there. Yeah. Khan ain't always going to be there because Brook.
They can easily fill a stadium.
He just got caught and chinned by Vargas.
Of course.
What do you think is going to happen, Pacquiao? What do you think?
But guess what? He's willing to do it.
You think Pacquiao beats him?
You can keep saying that he's willing to do this. He's willing to do that. He's willing. He might just know he's willing to just take the L for money.
You think Pacquiao beats
him? I'm not giving a guy a rating knowing that you're going in there to take the L for money.
You think Pacquiao? He's taking the L for money. I'm saying he's willing to go and test his skills with that opponent. You've got some people who aren't just don't want to do that. They're not into that sort of boxing. We don't want that.
So what I'm saying right now, why did Amir Khan sign with Matchroom? Can someone answer me that question?
Because they're the best promoters in the world.
Who?
Because they're the best promoters in the world.
Who's the best promoter in the world? Matchroom.
100%.
It's better than Al Heyman.
100%.
Okay, you see.
There's no better Al Heyman.
That's the English source right there.
No, it's not.
That's the English source.
I can tell you why. No, I'll tell you why.
Matchroom is better than Al Heyman.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Al Heyman's not a promoter. Al Heyman is the best business manager, boxing manager in world business because he's taken promoters out of the game. He's got wasteman promoters out here doing their business. The problem Al Heyman has is he's model made him and his boxers so much money the terrestrial US market aren't tuning into the fights as they once were. So he hasn't got as much control over the marketing, the advertisements on, because what happened was he signed a deal with loads of terrestrial channels he controls the adverts during that time. Basically.
Okay.
So what had happened was it was going well because he was putting in good fighters, decent fights.
The Premier Boxing.
Yeah, and it's a good product. The problem was it was getting watered down with not so good fights. If that makes sense.
I remember. It's not every night, every Friday was or whenever.
And it's not even every Friday. It's just the quality of fights.
Yeah.
So the only reason why I say Eddie Hearn is the best boxing promoter is purely because of the connections he's made and the money he's able to earn his fighters.
I agree
That's
with
the
that.
Only reason. If you're a fighter and you're at
you
English
got to add that
level,
one, boy.
Don't sign for Eddie Hearn. It's not worth it. You're going to take too much risk. You're going to lose, and you're not going to earn much money in your career. If you're on like British title level, going into world elite level, sign for Eddie Hearn, because he's got enough shows to put you on, to not make you take too much risk, to let you build, so you can go around different places. Other promoters just don't have that.
Yeah, coach, you got. That's true.
His fighters are now going to go to America.
For me, Eddie Hearn has come into the ring, and I could see his face and his mindset is like, Khan, you're going on the mic already, talking about Pacquiao. I mean, what's the point? Why did you waste your time signing with me? The whole point of you signing with me was to make the Kell Brook fight easier to make.
But
what I'm saying, you've made money, but come on, everybody knew as soon as Khan signed with Matchroom, what did everyone think straight away? They didn't think, Matchroom's the best. Because guess what? Amir Khan can hold his own himself.
Yeah.
His promotion and all that sort of stuff.
Not like he can with Matchroom.
Not that he can with
Matchroom would just set him up in Liverpool for 2 shows, sold 8,000 tickets a show. They're making money. They're making bank.
You sold 8,000, but can you go and do Wembley with Kell Brook 90,000? Yes.
Yeah.
No problems.
You can, yeah.
So why you come to Matchroom to come and sell 8,000 to fight Vargas when Kell Brook is on the same 100%. Platform as you to make a 90,000 stadium? And you're talking about
Pacquiao.
But once again, when you talk about Pacquiao, where are you going to fight? You think Pacquiao's now the A side? You're going to have to go to the Philippines.
No, you're going to go to America and fight Pacquiao on design, which is Eddie Hearn. You're going to be signed to the same promoter again.
It's going to be design and all that sort of stuff. But come on, boxing fan fight. We all knew he signed with Matchroom to get the Brook fight. Even your promoter Eddie Hearn went into the ring, and when he heard Pacquiao's name, he was like,
but he was talking Pacquiao's name before that.
Well, it's Kell now
he was saying
or never.
Pacquiao, before that, Eddie Hearn's interviews were saying Brook or Pacquiao. Brook's going to be in the UK because that's more of a UK fight. Pacquiao, that'll be abroad. Pacquiao wants a bit too much money for it, but we might be able to make it. But he can't do that with Brook. That's not an option for a reason that Amir Khan's gone abroad and made a name for himself, that he can go and fight in America and have some sort of a buzz. Brook has to have Khan fight in the UK.
Yeah.
That's his biggest fight that he can go for.
He knows that as well.
But we all know that Khan is a bigger all-round fighter than Kell Brook.
No, he's just a bigger name.
Bigger name than big, and he is the A side, no doubt about it. He's the A side. But come on now. I see a lot of people getting on people like Anthony Joshua's back about the Wilder fight. People need to start getting on Amir Khan's back about this Kell Brook fight.
He's ducking.
It's 90,000.
What if Amir Khan wants to go and be a world champion? What if that's his desire?
But once again, he told Kell Brook the same thing. When you go and win a belt, then you come and talk to me, then we'll have a fight. When he won the belt, where was Khan? Oh, I'm going to America to fight Maidana and this and that.
No, he didn't have the belt then.
But what I'm saying is Khan said you cannot approach me unless you win a world title. When he went to Shawn Porter and won the world title, that fight should have been made straight after, because this is what that's what I thought was going to happen.
The fight after, so he had to fight a mandatory, which he fought, but
that mandatory could have been given side money.
No. He was the side money. So what happened was the mandatory was given side money so Kell Brook could fight Porter. If that makes sense. Then he had to fight him or give up the belt. Basically, yes. It's basically with that IBF, with that championship, they don't take any. It's not like the other ones. You have to follow the rules. Like it goes 1, 2, 3. That's why they fought Takam with AJ right after Pulev pulled out, because he was just the next one in line. Yeah. Like you have to follow the rules. But I just think that. Yeah.
Anyway, for me, my opinion is Khan is ducking.
Same man. Don't worry.
He could be ducking, but that fight's there. Brook's not going to do what's required to make Khan have to take that fight. Brook has to take it.
So he won that. Later on in the night, the early hours, Danny Garcia faced off with Shawn Porter in the Barclays Center, Brooklyn. Yeah. Shawn Porter won So my guy Danny Garcia, obviously, that's 2 L's now.
Another overrated fighter.
Before you get to this overrated statement, why do you think the results were fair? If you do think it was fair, because it seems like the judges were just looking at the activity, and if that's the case, that means everyone should just start buzzing around the ring like a bee, and look busy. Garcia had the cleaner work, but it was a unanimous decision. That's what even messed me up even more. How are you gonna get unanimous?
I felt Porter won that fight. And the reason why I thought Porter won that fight was because Garcia did look a bit cleaner, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to win. Unfortunately,
Shawn Porter's punches were hitting Garcia's arms.
A lot of them was, but some of them wasn't. And unfortunately, when some of them's not, and you're not doing anything, you're taking 6 rounds off.
No. He wasn't taking 6 rounds off.
From that round 3 to that round 8.
Yeah, because Shawn Porter reverted back to type. First 3 rounds, Garcia was moving around. Shawn Porter tried to do the whole boxing thing. His dad told him, bro, what are you doing? You better go back to you get me?
And rightfully so. And guess what?
Such an ugly style. Such an ugly style,
But Danny Garcia wasn't willing to do what was required.
Which is what Furman did. And
you get what I'm saying? Like Danny Garcia did that. He's good enough to easily beat Porter, in my opinion.
Yeah, he had to beat him there.
Unfortunately, he didn't do good enough to beat him on the night. He didn't. It really frustrates me that Shawn Porter's now a world champion at that world level, but he done what was required. Like, I can't take anything off of the man. He went in, he done his training camp, he got in the ring under the lights and done better than the man in front of him. So I can't fault him at all. So
I mean, we've got one person to me that's a fake Mike Tyson. The way he brawls and all that. So I just don't like Shawn Porter's style of fighting. Danny Garcia should have picked him off easier, I feel. But Danny Garcia for me is another, to me, overrated fighter. I think he's got the left swing, he's got the left hand, and he's been too inactive for me anyway for a while. So that kind of catches up with you as well. But in that fight, I can see if they gave it to Garcia, I wouldn't be too like, oh, it's a robbery or anything like that. And I can see why they gave it to Porter as well. It was just one of those fights. That's what I saw. I would have liked Danny Garcia to win because I don't like Shawn Porter's fighting style. That's just me. I don't like that whole bear hug, do all that sort of stuff, and that he does that sort of Mike Tyson. But it's not smooth Mike Tyson. It's very. I don't know what the word.
Headbutted him, everything.
That's why he got picked off by Brook easily, because Brook was smart enough to just gone.
So obviously you lot say that he's just not a champion like type fighter, yeah. And I think Errol Spence realizes that, and he wants that title. He came straight in the ring after the fight, like, I want that B. You got to pass that over. So it seems like that's going to be an easy fight to be made because both camps they seem like amicable. So that fight's going to happen. So is that a smart strategy from Errol Spence? Because a guy
Spence cleans them all in my eyes, so he doesn't make a difference who he fights. He's gonna.
Yeah, Errol Spence is the next one.
Yeah,
he's the next one because I've seen him as well. When he first started, he didn't really talk, but now he's starting to realise that with his boxing skill and a bit of more talking in the media, it gets him because he believes in his skills and he's a very skillful fighter. He's very smart. When you watch him fight, he will analyse what he's fighting against.
I was so impressed against the Kell Brook fight.
And adapt to that. That's what I think he really like. Even the Kell Brook fight, he said we're just gonna go to the body because he's shrunk himself so much to get to 147 that he's not gonna be able to take enough of these body shots. And he just went body, broke him down, and eventually he won the match and whatnot. But Errol Spence.
So you think obviously he's going to take the title from?
He'll just everyone.
No, I'm saying so you're going to say he takes the title from Shawn Porter.
Yeah, no problem.
So he's got two. He unifies. He's got two titles. A guy that beat both of those fighters that fought last night was Keith Thurman. He was in the crowd. He hasn't got any. So is that why Errol hasn't called out Thurman? Because that's the fight I thought was going to happen.
No. Yeah, but it can't happen because Thurman had these two titles injured, has to give him up or gave him up. So that's why they was fighting for a title yesterday. So that's the
vacant title.
That's why he wants that, and he can.
So why was Thurman there? What was he there for in the crowd? Because obviously he's there for a reason.
Because it's good promotion.
Promotion for what? Who's next for Thurman then? If Errol Spence is going to fight Shawn Porter.
It's not about next to him. So what you've got to understand is someone's putting on this show for everyone. You've got a promoter there who's putting on a show that wants their show to seem big and glamorous. The better fighters and the better stars you can get in attendance just makes your show look that much better.
So they weren't there for a reason.
Plus Thurman is trying to do a Tyson Fury thing.
What's that?
That's what he's doing. Before I got injured, no one beat me, etc.
Facts.
So when he does work, it's great. It's all great, but it just so happens that he started to get a few injuries when Uncle Errol started coming around. It's just a coincidence that the hand, the this.
Do you think it's that? I think it's game though.
No, I think he's genuinely injured.
Keith Thurman is he's a bad guy, you know.
He's a bad guy, but
He can fight.
Uncle Errol, like I like to call him.
That's the fight I want.
Uncle
I don't want.
Errol has put fear into these welterweights. That is what's happened. He's put fear into these welterweights.
Nah, it's coincidence. Thurman done that attack that would give up his titles.
If it's coincidence, fantastic. But I think he's gonna come back with that persona that you guys have got the belts and whatnot. But when I wasn't injured, I had this, and that's how he's gonna promote himself to go back in. And get some more fights. And
so you reckon he will fight Errol eventually?
He should do that. That should be his mindset because he had 2 world titles. Like he's the man. Unfortunately, Spence wasn't the man when he gave up his titles. That is the case. Fury's a bit different because Fury gave up his title. Like if he comes back and does what Fury does and fights in some 8-rounders, like some mad fights, then it's a bit of a problem. But if he starts fighting decent quality opposition, he deserves to still keep his ranking almost, if that makes sense, because he hasn't done anything wrong. He's only fought at that level.
Garcia, man, I'm so disappointed that he lost, but you know, we've got again.
Why do you rate Garcia so much?
You know what it is? I think it's more the whole persona. Like I like Meek Mill as well. So obviously the whole Philly stand up.
He saw it from a young buck.
Philly stand up, man. I like him for a Puerto Rican guy, and he moves. He's for the culture. Do you get me?
I think he talks more than he can do, man.
What do you mean?
No, his dad. I'm talking about his dad, not him.
Oh no, that's another thing that I liked about him. So I used to think when I used to watch, especially the Khan fight, the dad was so loud. I thought, I slightly want Khan to beat this guy just because of the dad. After a while, during the build-up, I was like, you know what, the dad is actually alright. Like, do you get me? And the son is cool. He don't even do the talking.
But at the same
and then he knocked him out.
He's
so I was
not
like,
in the ring at the moment, the son. That's the problem. Like,
Yeah.
regardless of however much you like him,
I know.
his last few fights,
his last few fights have
pretty much from the Khan fight. Like, if we're being honest,
No.
we know you're going to say
Matisse, bro. Come on.
Matisse, and that was very good.
Come on.
But what I'm saying
is,
for the levels that we wanted him to be stepping up from,
I thought he was going to move further.
Why though? What did he?
Because of the Matisse fight. Matisse was a feared fight at that time when he knocked him out.
At that time, Matisse, he was. He had that whole. He wasn't feared like that when Danny Garcia came round, and the whole Khan thing with Garcia that made him big to people's eyes over here. But we all know that when Khan gets hit touched, on the button, even if you're not a puncher, just hit him on the button and Bambi on ice is coming out. You know, he's walking.
Yeah, that's why I like watching his fights.
Yeah, because he gets knocked down. He gets up and then he's walking towards the other corner. You don't know where he's going. Then the bell goes and he turns around and walks it.
So anyway, listen, what was I gonna say? Big fight next week. Triple G Canelo rematch. Who takes it this time? I'll start by saying I think Triple G is gonna do it this time.
I want Triple G to do it, and I think Alvarez is like
Alvarez, you know. Nah,
yeah, it's
put
true.
respect on his name.
Don't like all that. I think
he's a meat, bro. Come on, man.
Don't give me anyway. Okay, fair enough. It could be the meat, but
the meat, bro.
I just think that Triple G. I want him to take it personally. Don't get me wrong. Canelo is definitely good enough to win.
Yeah,
that makes,
of course.
This is why it's such a good fight. Like, it is a very good fight, but I just want Triple G. I
want more of the action in the first fight, though. I know there was action, but it was just too scattered. I think now that GGG he knows what to come up against. I think, and vice versa. I think there'll be more fireworks in this fight. I hope so. But who do you think is going to win, Coach?
I mean, who I think is going to win? I think it depends. Now Canelo's got a bit more experience in the ring with Triple G. He's a better skill fighter. That's for sure.
I agree.
He's got better skill. He can switch it up now. But in terms of who I want to win, Triple G, for the simple fact that number one, I don't really like Oscar De La Hoya. That's not one. Number two is if that was someone like Floyd Mayweather that got caught with the meat, he would have been out for longer than 6 months. Way longer.
He's a golden boy.
Yeah, so
he's a golden boy.
For all those factors and whatnot, I want Triple G to win.
Yeah.
But if a Canelo did outbox him, because don't forget, Kell Brook was outboxing Triple G at one point.
That's what I'm saying.
At one point in the fight, he was outboxing. Triple G,
he had no answer. He was just coming forward.
Yeah, Triple G got so aggressive and said, "You know what? I'm so much bigger than this guy. I'm just gonna
power my way through."
Because he's pop shotting me.
Is that a fair comparison? Because it's Triple G. I don't think Triple G goes into a fight with someone like Canelo or even anyone at his weight level and gives them the level of disrespect that he gives Kell Brook and just walking forward, hands down. Like, you were not.
So you think he thought he did it on purpose? That I'm gonna walk him down.
Kell Brook to me. Like, I'm gonna take this guy's head off.
But he has to walk him down if you're getting popped and he's moving. You have to cut down the ring space. So he knows he's got the physical advantage. So let me just go
hunt
him.
The whole time, I'm not even going to box, and this is a war. This is going to be like a street fight.
He said that before the fight.
That's what he kept saying, like, and he just showed him, in my eyes, he showed him
another dimension, Like, he just had another dimension to his game.
Kell Brook was doing all he could. And I was at that fight.
Oh, yeah?
I paid good money.
How did it look ringside? Kell Brook was moving around and that.
Do you know what? I was very, very impressed with Kell Brook. I didn't even realize his eye was hurt. I was just like, oh, what's going on here? But, it was so... but you could just see it was just like this level of that you don't see Triple G give it any other opponent. Like where
he was just walking them down.
Just like he didn't even want to put his hands.
No. Having said that, the fight before that, Triple G fought. What's the black guy's name? Danny Jacobs.
And that was a tough fight.
That was a tough fight. I was watching my boy, and when the scorecards were announced, I thought definitely it was closer than what it could have been a draw.
It could have been a draw.
Triple G was eating so much shots. That's why when the Kell Brook fight came,
Jacobs was making him eat shots through quality.
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
He wasn't like walking him down.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. But when Kell Brook started eating shots in that fight, I thought this guy's easy to hit. Which is why I went for Canelo the first time they fought. But having played that, I think Triple G this time.
I think if he goes in the ring with like Amir Khan, for example, he's just walking him down. Like, who are you? What are you doing? Your little Powerpuff Punches. What is that going to do?
But yeah, man. So that's next week. We'll obviously do a recap of that. It's been a good one, guys. Quickly, you want to talk about UFC just quickly? I know Coach is not involved.
I'm out.
Coach doesn't ever.
I'm out.
We're gonna get you on UFC soon. We're gonna get you on UFC.
You're not gonna have. You're not gonna have.
I'm not. By the way, I've got to say this. I'm not the biggest UFC fan
at
all.
Okay.
I just think that they need better levels at the moment in UFC. I think you can go basically from being an average level fighter, street level fighter, to being great. And there's not much in between. Like I think in a few
still
years,
young, still young.
It might get a bit
better. There's some killers coming through.
When I see the UFC trying to get Floyd Mayweather in the octagon, I know that's not a big time.
But you know UFC's an organisation,
I know.
MMA
I know.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Don't look at UFC as the sport.
I'm just making a.
That's Dana White. He
just for me,
wants money.
Yeah, just for me, I'm just not.
Yeah, but
UFC's your.
So last night as well, Tyron Woodley defeats Darren Till. Big fight. I was worried for that Woodley because Darren Till, he had that kind of Conor mystique about him, like the way he used to throw the left and the confidence, and everyone's building him up. Even the whole preview before the fight, a lot of people are going with Darren Till, and even before the fight when they were coming out, Woodley looked a bit nervous. Like he looked a bit like he was blowing a lot, and I was like, whoa, what's going on? It's a fair. Maybe it's Aldo because when Aldo fought McGregor,
same. You say you were worried for Woodley. Does that mean you wanted Woodley to win?
Yeah, of course. I'm a Woodley fan, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, he does win, and he does it in devastating fashion. Not even close. Wipes him out, so he retains his title. It was a good card overall. I wish you watched the whole card, Lee, man. Trust me. Mad chaos.
So for me, I really like what I've seen of Darren Till.
Yeah.
I don't respect it all fully. It's gonna sound mad. So I don't respect the fact that he gets higher up in rankings, but he can't make the weight for the fight he's fighting.
Yeah, he missed weight last fight.
And he missed weight a fight like a couple of fights before that. But even though the opposition had to take he had to take a cut in his wage, in his salary, in his purse. The opposition got more money. He still got the ranking for the fight. And in boxing, for example, you ain't getting that ranking if you can't fight at that weight.
Yeah.
You make it a catch weight and then you just figure it out.
Yeah.
But in UFC, it's almost like you can come in overweight, still be ranked. But fair enough, that's what the rules he was in. Yeah. He was in the fight. I wanted Woody to win just because I've been watching Woody for a while, mainly because I watched a few Conor McGregor shows, and he was on it, and I was like, oh, this guy looks very good. Yeah. I was worried because of his age, and he was been out for a little bit. So
he shoulder injury.
You're completely right when you say he looked nervous coming in.
He looked nervous. I
was like, oh gosh.
I was nervous because he was nervous. I was like, bro, what's going on? But
when it started, like I was like, okay, no, he's nice. He's calm. And then he banged. When he banged him and put him down, I was like, oh gosh, okay, now this is it. And got
ground and pound,
them elbows.
And the thing is, people say that's what because Woodley's not a fan favorite. So
they hate him.
Yeah, they hate him, but I don't know why.
They
But
say it's boring. And
No.
He normally is quite. If you don't respect that level of fight,
yeah.
then it might be boring if you're looking for some blood, gory.
Nah, so what it is,
knockout.
Woodley had more to his game when he was younger. So early in his fighting career, he had more to his game where, as years have gone on, he's realised that this right hand puts guys to sleep. And he had wrestling skills, he used to submit guys, he had so much submission victories, but then towards now, that's all dried up basically in terms of what the other aspect of his game you see. You just see that one bang kind of, and if it gets on top wrestling. But yesterday, I was so happy that he finished it off by submission.
So I like Woodley. The reason why I like Woodley is he does what he needs to do to win the fight that he's in. And
Literally.
I respect that from a man. Like whatever
His last two fights are hard opponents. You have to adapt to those.
The last what he just done with Till was a joke. Like he just made the best up and coming guy look like he wasn't even
not ready.
A fool. Like he literally done. What you're a striker? Okay, let me just put you down with a quick punch. No,
literally was that.
I can't let people tap out. Okay, this guy's I'm gonna show everyone his heart. That's it. And then I think it's other than John Jones, I think he's that. Obviously, I like Mayweather as well.
He's trying to go for best welterweight of all time. But yeah, another quick shout out. Yeah, I want to shout out. I was watching the undercard. There was a guy called Darren Stewart, East London born. He fought a guy called Charles Bird and he won. I will say the person I was with that I was watching it with, I was like, yeah, this guy he's out of here because Charles Bird rocked him a couple times and he just looked a bit shaky. I didn't even know he was from London until the end of the fight. But then he comes back and he wins by TKO elbow. He did some mad elbow. Then after the fight, Joe Rogan's interviewing him and he's like, yeah, the guy can kick hard, he can punch hard, but man's from East London. We got chin out here. Like it was mad. I was like, yeah. So I'm definitely gonna watch his progression and his career.
Have to watch that.
But good shout out to him. Yeah, bro. Go and watch all the fights.
I've recorded this, I'll go and watch it.
This was for me the best card of the year. Nothing went the full distance. Everything was, and the quality.
I can't watch UFC like that. I can't watch a whole card. Like I watch. Like
no,
East London
watch this card. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed.
UFC cards. That's what. As I said with UFC, my problem is the level just ain't.
Nah, I get you. It's growing though.
It's like almost like saying Tyson Fury's down to fight, but that's like the world title.
Yeah, but look at UFC. Yeah, all of this ducking that there is in boxing, which is what's putting people off. You can't do that in UFC. It's one belt. If you want that title, you have to fight.
Exactly what you said before. UFC is not the sport, so it's all based on what UFC deem necessary. So Till might not be the best second welterweight in the world, but guess what? He's got a good enough hype. He's got a good enough voice.
In the UFC,
his record looks decent enough, so they're gonna push him.
Yeah,
and they are pushing him. And guess what?
Yeah, but there's too many belts in boxing. Is what I'm saying. The amount of belts are in boxing, magazine belt, this that belt, like.
Look how many belts are in MMA.
Yeah, but that's different organizations. But yeah, you're right. There should be.
UFC the sport.
They should be able to go to other organizations and fight. They should have a way of doing that. Yeah, no, because right now that's not the case.
Because right now in UFC,
you got Strikeforce. You got.
We're deciding Conor McGregor is the baddest man out here because the UFC have told us. We have no. It's in their best interest for him not to be beat. It's very much that he's making them a lot of money, but. I assume he is because I've not seen anyone else to tell me otherwise.
Nah, he's got a big fight coming up. We'll see.
I'm telling you, there must be someone out there that's just being pushed down somewhere that's kidding it.
UFC is different. If you're winning, everyone takes notice. Doesn't matter what.
But what if you're not in the UFC?
No, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to be in the UFC. It'll come through. Everyone will know about it. It will start getting it. UFC.
There was someone that Conor McGregor I heard was ducking. I can't remember the names. I don't want to get into it.
Khabib.
I don't think it's Khabib because that's who he's
fighting. Yeah, that's who he's fighting next. But yeah, anyway, so it's been a good podcast. Be sure to check out the Team Talk Footy show hosted by Dapo. That's coming on Friday or Thursday. So yeah, it's been a good one, guys. Thanks.
Make sure you like and subscribe as well if you.
Yeah. YouTube channel, Instagram, TeamTalkOnline. Follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube. It's been a good one, Coach. Thanks for coming, Big Lee.
Jose in.
Cool, guys.